Mikey, viens, frérot, viens.
Ganago, amical, va sortir.
Combien?
C'est qui sort ici, des gars?
Ganago, prêt. Ganago, fight, qui a sorti là-bas?
Qui sort?
Ganago est fight.
Regarde, ils sont ici.
Je sors.
Hé, Max, regarde-moi.
Je reste là.
C'est bon, Max.
Il reste là.
Sautez ici là.
On a compris.
Les gars, ne partez pas le but.
Samba, colle.
Ne partez pas le but, les gars. Ne partez pas le but. Ne partez pas le but.
Ok? Et les gars, allez, au bout. Tu la rates. Vas-y à fond. Ton camp. Bien joué. On jump. On avance. Joue. On grimpe, là on avance. Marc, vas-y, tu es un côté, Ghana. C'est bon, c'est mieux. Il ne part pas. Il recule. Chamba, joue. Take your man.
No pushing, no pulling, hands off. Don't use your hands. Hands off. Coming.
Away.
Easy, man.
Yahoo. Viens, pas, pas mal. Tu restes là, il va venir, tu te laisses. À faute. Parlez.
C'est une zone. Je ne peux pas déjà le prendre au marquage. Sinon j'allais le prendre.
Bloque le grand.
Mouvement.
Joue là. Viens encore. Joue là. En avance.
Free kick, advantage man.
Joue. Encore, deuxième. Stop. Fermez, Mike, fermez, Bill, Bill. Give me.
Now league action does resume as there's a man down for Preston currently in... was cleared away from danger by the Bolton defence. I will just run you through the lineups once again if you did miss them in the earlier preamble. So for the Trotters, it is Bonham in goal, Stevenson, Farino, Joseph, Fameo and Conway in the back four. It's Sheehan and Arayan in the holding midfield. Larazabal, McAtee, Gale and Dolby make up the remainder of the Bolton starting 11. For Preston, it's Iverson in goal, Hughes, Lindsay, Story and Valentin Sancho in the defence. McCann and Thompson are the holding midfielders. It's Lang, Devine and Bergsog supporting their lone striker of Milutin Osmajic. About almost 2 minutes gone in this game so far. Still goalless in this one. We'll keep you up to date with the goals as they go in the other early kickoffs across the EFL, 3 of which coming in League 1 and 2 in League 2. Those games are Notts County against Leicester, Oxford against MK Dons, Reading against Luton, Newport against Rochdale and Oldham against Port Vale. Bolton currently in possession just inside their own half with Farino Joseph. He'll spread over towards the left-hand side in Conway. Chance for Gale to try and take on his man. He's got a good burst of pace. The number 11 will try and take on Valentin Sancho. Gets a decent cross in. It's dangerous. It's well headed away by Liam Lindsay at the right place at the right time. And Preston will try and play their way out from danger. But I thought getting the ball straight back to Bolton. Osmajic almost turning his man, well defended by Fameo. But 2.5 minutes in, you'd probably say Bolton are the better side so far. They're pressing from the front and not really giving Preston any time to think.
Absolutely, and obviously we've just seen a fantastic chance there with that cross put into the box by Bolton, and of course they'll probably want to come back, of course, with a positive result after their competitive season started with a 1-0 Carabao Cup defeat to Sheffield Wednesday, of course, so they'll certainly want to get at Preston today.
Chance now for Bolton to come forward once again down the left-hand side. Has he kept the ball in play, Conway? I'm not sure he did, but the linesman's flag does remain down, and it's a good recovery challenge in the end by Story before the ball is floated forward towards Lang. The flick on to Osmajic will now try and set off Devine on the right-hand side. A vital sliding interception coming in from Fameo, going back towards his goalkeeper Bonham. That launched the ball away from danger. It's end-to-end stuff in this opening 3.5 minutes. And now Bolton on the attack. Chance with Gale. He cuts in on his left boot, tries to get a cross in. The good recovery challenge coming in by McCann. It stops the ball going out for a corner kick as well. The attack still on, though, with the hosts. Over towards the left-hand side with Gale once again. He gets a cross in, it dings dangerously, and it just can't quite fall to McAtee inside the 6-yard box. It might have come off his knee last. It's gone out for a goal kick, but a really bright start from Bolton so far.
Absolutely. Again, more chances coming in within that sort of 4-minute span, and it has been really end-to-end. I must say Preston have had a few chances as well to counter that have been well defended by Bolton, but certainly I think we're in for some goals today.
Well, that is how it's looking like. Preston just can't get going at the moment in these opening 4 minutes. Bolton, the side in the ascendancies. The flick on by Hughes looks for Zmajic. That's turned away by Firmino. Story dispossessed, but they do well to hold on to it, do Preston, as it goes all the way back towards the goalkeeper in Iverson. Here's the Dane who will look to try and launch this ball further forward. He is just standing on it for the time being, not really being pressurised by any man in white, waiting for a bit of support before spreading it over towards the supporting cast of Story. Now with Valentin down the line, looking for the run of Lang. That won't find him though, the man in red, and it will be a throw-in once again for the hosts. Was promoted from League One last time out, but with the way they're playing at the moment, you really wouldn't believe that they're the side that have come up from a lower division.
Certainly so, and I think we see this a lot with promoted sides though, where they've gotten there for a reason, and I think they'll want to show what they're about in the Championship this season, of course being their first Championship season in quite some time, since 2018-19, and those sides want to come up and really challenge that status quo, and hopefully that's what they'll do today.
We'll have to wait and see. It's been many a year since they last faced off in a league fixture. The last game between the two, at least at Deepdale, was on September the 1st in 2018, finishing as a 2-2 draw between Preston and Bolton, and then at Bolton as well. Preston actually came away with a 2-1 victory February 9th, 2019. Preston actually have a semi-decent record away from home against Bolton. They've won each their last 3 travels here. It's now called the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. Granted, the furthest away of those fixtures was all the way back in 2016. You can't really say any recent history is on their side, because there isn't any recent history, as we've got a free kick for Bolton on this near right-hand side. It will be Sheehan that will stand over this, the Bolton captain. It looks like he will try and float this into the area and find a man in white. The likes of Farino and Firmino all to aim for. McAtee's there as well. Conway looking at the far post, as is Thierry Gale. Sheehan will be given the go-ahead by the referee, Adam Hertzeg. And we'll wait for him to deliver the cross into the box. It's got to beat the first man here for the Bolton number 8. It's not a bad delivery. It was flapped down. It's not been dealt with by Daniel Everson, who somehow, on the second time of asking, managed to gather and stop the ball ending up in the back of the net. He's immediately launched the ball forward looking for Zmajic, who fouls his man. That'll be a free kick for Bolton, but they have breathed a heavy sigh of relief. Somehow Bolton haven't taken the lead there, Sam.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Iverson got away with one. It was a huge mistake from him, I think, just to not quite grab the ball correct. He let it drop as well in the box when it was packed with Bolton players, and massively got let off with one that could have easily been Bolton 1, Preston 0.
A really big let off there for the away side as an offside flag goes up on Sam Dalby. That'll be a free kick for Preston inside their own half, as we see another replay of that error by Daniel Everson. So we're not going to get that opportunity, as the free kick has already been taken. As I know, it's actually going to be left for Everson to take instead. It gives me an opportunity at least to give you an update on a goal that's been scored in one of the early kickoffs, that coming in League One. Luton Town have taken the lead away from home at Reading thanks to the strike from Richards. It looks like, though, Reading have instantaneously equalised no more than a minute or two after that goal from Jake Richards. Looks like Jack Marriott might have just equalised for the Royals in that contest. That is what the confirmation has been confirmed as well. So already 2 goals in one of the early kickoffs, none in ours or any of the other 4 games that are without a goal in the 12:30 kickoffs across the EFL. As Bolton will start things off from their keeper in Bonham, and now Firmino's got plenty of time and space to drive into. We'll roll that back towards Sheehan. Crossfield pass aiming towards the run on the right-hand side of Larrazabal. The new signings this summer. The Spaniard, normally a defender by trade, Gaizka Larrazabal, but he is playing as a winger this afternoon. Signed from Casapia in Portugal and has spent time with Athletic Bilbao and Zaragoza in La Liga as well. It's quite a coup signing, the 28-year-old for Bolton. Yet to really see a great deal of him so far, but he's on possession now. Larrazabal, he'll break forward and finds McAtee. Back it goes for Stevenson. He won't take any chances, rolls that back towards Bonham once again. A crossfield pass finding the supporting cast of Arayan. Sheehan, Stevenson once again. Preston trying to keep a high press higher up the field, not really getting within touching distance so far of the Bolton players. Sure, much to the delight of the fans watching on at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium, which looks to be pretty much a sellout, which, considering it's the opening day of a new season when you've just been promoted, probably isn't that surprising.
Absolutely, something you'd expect, but at the same time, I'm sure the Bolton players will be very grateful, of course, for the fans turning up, and there'll have been a huge impact, of course, on them even coming up to the Championship this season, and for them to see their side back in the Championship after 6-7 years now will be a great joy to them, and hopefully that's something that can help Bolton get going, and certainly it seems to have given them a lift.
Yes, it has given them some form of momentum in this game. They are definitely the side in the ascendancy, despite there being no goals in these opening 10.5 minutes so far. They have had the only opportunity, you would say, with Everson spilling and then reclaiming the rebound, but to be honest, 10.5 minutes in, we haven't actually had a shot of any note from either of these sides.
No, true. I think they're managing to get up the pitch well. It's that sort of box play, if you like, when they're in the final third. They're just not actually able to get those shots away. Of course, only 10 minutes gone. We'd expect that to change, and the only real, I suppose, chance you could say they had, like you say, was that sort of spill by Iverson, which was probably more of a mistake than a great play, really, from Bolton. But we'll see if they can change that.
Yes, well, Gale's probably been their brightest spark on that left-hand side with his dribbling abilities, put a few dangerous crosses in, which haven't been able to be meaningfully met by a Bolton player. But there's an opportunity now, maybe here for Preston with Osmajic, but he's mistimed his run once again. The dangerous striker for Preston. And there will be a free kick as the offside flag is shown by the linesman on the far side, which Sheehan takes quickly and goes towards his teammate of Firmino. There's a 1-2 with Conway on the left-hand side. Takes his time, looks for a bit of support, goes back towards his goalkeeper in Bonham, who goes for the long ball, looking for the run of Larrazabal. Won't find him, but it will be headed out of play by Hughes for a throw-in for Bolton on this near right-hand side. It will be Stevenson that stands over this for the Trotters. Takes it quickly to Larrazabal, not a bad ball over the top to McAtee. Lovely skill by the number 45, almost came off, and then Larrazabal almost gets there in front of Hughes. It's dealt with by McCann, who flicks it in towards Thompson. Back it goes towards Everson, over towards the right-hand side for Valentin, who gets his boot through it to try and set off the run of Lang. His flicked header won't find Alfie Devine. One of the new signings for Preston in the summer, bought from Tottenham Hotspur. What was made of this signing? I think it's a real marquee signing, as McCann has just been shown the first yellow card of the game here. I thought there was just more of a coming together between the two, but he has dived in, trying to tow the ball away from Sheehan. He has mistimed it, and I think he has caught the Bolton captain.
Absolutely. I think it was tough to tell from that first angle, but upon sort of reviewing that, we can see that Sheehan just kind of knocks it past him, I suppose, as he went in for the slide, and he takes the captain down as opposed to getting near the ball.
Yeah, so Ali McCann getting the first yellow card of the game. Bolton and Preston actually head into this game with a player already suspended from the weekend of EFL Cup football last time out. Lewis Gibson for Preston, and Xavier Simons famously being shown a red card for a violent reaction to a pull on his shirt. Swung around and punched his opposing teammate in the stomach in their 1-0 defeat against Sheffield Wednesday. So there is definitely a temperament to both these sides, but currently 13 minutes in, almost quarter of an hour gone, we're yet to see any real testiness or aggression from either side, even with this yellow card.
Yeah, and I think some say this is a derby of sorts, and so maybe, who knows, that's where the aggression comes from, but it would be sensible, certainly, for both of these sides to keep it somewhat calm, especially when it can be tough, and here we go. We see a goal. Apologies, we weren't expecting it with a bit of a good save, I suppose, by Iverson, but talk us through that goal.
Well, that has come out of literally absolutely nowhere. It was a ball over the top, which Dalby flicks towards McAtee, who inexplicably has gone for the effort on the half volley from about 35 yards out, but it completely wrong foot. Iverson catches him out. He has to get low to his right-hand side to make the save, but he parries it awfully into danger, and it falls so kindly to Sam Dalby, who has the simplest of tasks, just to pass it into the bottom corner. You'd probably have to say, even though it was a semi-decent first stop by Iverson, it is a goalkeeper error in terms of the fact he doesn't palm it away from danger. It's a simple tap-in for a striker of Dalby's quality, and Bolton, deservedly so, take the lead.
Absolutely, and I have to say, Dalby caught me out as well as Iverson. I wasn't expecting that mistake from the goalkeeper, and certainly not the first mistake he's made in this game, but this one has been costly, and a huge credit to Dalby just for following that up and managing to put the chance away, and the newly promoted side now on top.
Yeah, they are now on top. Big moment there for Bolton. They get the opening goal in this contest. And now all eyes will be on how Preston can respond to that strike. Massive goal for Sam Dalby. As it stands, Bolton would actually go top of the pile in the Championship. Granted, it is only after 2 games being played. Theirs and the game last night between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Blackburn Rovers, which finished 2 apiece. Preston actually will face Wolverhampton Wanderers at Deepdale in their next fixture, their first home league fixture of the campaign. It was a cracking strike that by McAtee, and the rebound from Sam Dalby was so calm and collected how he passed the ball into the net there. His 12th league goal is an opportunity now for Preston. The ball over goes towards Lang. It's a poor first touch. It falls to Bergzog. No, be taken again from Lang, and it's been dealt with in the end by the Bolton defence. But that was horrendous play by Preston. It was a 4-on-1 that they had when the pass came over. Lang gets it stuck beneath his feet. He then takes it off the toe of his teammate Bergzog. Really poor communication, and they really should be doing better there.
Completely. I think the idea was absolutely right from Preston in the initial. The breakaway was fantastic. Plenty of players to aim at in terms of getting yourself an assist, of course. And it seems none of them quite got it right. Lang, of course, getting that touch wrong. It goes behind him. And I think if he just managed to get to the side of him or even in front of him, he has a great shooting chance, but unfortunately squandered.
Has been squandered as we've got the throw in now for Bolton on this near left-hand side. Hughes will be the man that stands over this to try and launch an attack forward for the Lily Whites. Lang over towards McCann. Tips away by Gale. Poor pass by McAtee. Won't find a man in white, will he? No, somehow Conway's gone the end of that. That's really well determined running there by the fullback, and he's managed to recycle possessions to John McAtee as well, who pokes out towards Gale. Maybe an opportunity here for Bolton. Gale darting down the left-hand side. He won't try and take on Ali McCann. Goes back towards his teammate. Now is Sheehan, about 30 yards out. Might fancy his chances. Goes for goal. Gets right underneath it and sends that effort comfortably over and wide of Iverson's net. But I don't mind that as taking a shot on, because he wasn't really being pressurised by a man in red.
Absolutely. And at the same time, after that goal, I almost see like an atmosphere shift in this game where it just looks like Bolton want it more. You know, that just started from that run from Conway, from a bit of a, let's say, wayward pass. Neither of us thought he was going to get onto it, and it was fantastic running for him to get onto that. And I think Bolton right now look like they want it more. So if the captain fancies his chances, why not?
Chance now maybe here for Preston down the left-hand side. No, Delano Bergzog has mistimed his run. The man on loan from Middlesbrough. The Hunters flag does go up. It will be a free kick for Bolton Wanderers, about 5 yards or so outside their own penalty area. Actually, they might try and take it further on. It is Farino Joseph to start from the back. Sheehan rolls it into McAtee. Acres of space again for the Bolton number 45 as he sends it over towards Lorazabal. Takes on Hughes, gets towards the byline, digs out across, big deflection, and it will be a corner kick for the hosts. I believe the first corner kick of the game.
Yeah, and potentially a chance for them to do something from this set piece and capitalise on that. They've got a few big guys at the back, of course, for Reno and for Mayweather, who certainly can get a header in. And the way Iverson's been playing hasn't filled certainly either of us with confidence, I would say. And if they can get it on target, who knows?
We'll have to see if they can double their advantage with this corner kick. It does look like it will be Max Conway that's going to come over to take this, the number 25 for Bolton. Sheehan in front of him. He's got Stevenson in the area at the near post. He's gone short to Sheehan. That's a really poor return pass. It's poked away though by Conway to hold on to possession. It'll work its way back towards the Bolton captain. He'll try and get the ball in again. It's dangerous. It's flicked on the near post by Dolby. The attack's still on. Headed back into a dangerous area. Almost fell to a man in white. Sheehan's effort still not turned away. Sheehan again. And it's scuffed into the floor. And it will go wide for a goal kick. But that is back to the walls defending from Preston. Hearts and mouths for the travelling fans watching on behind the goal.
Certainly that was chaotic from a Preston perspective. Just couldn't get it out, it seems, and maybe a little bit of a, I suppose, unfortunate look, I suppose, for Preston in a sense, because it kept falling to Bolton players in the box. But again, looking very, very dangerous, Bolton, and Preston are potentially going to have a tough afternoon here.
Well, they're going to try and hit back instantaneously from that corner kick with Bergzog on the edge of the area. Looks for a bit of support, rolls it to his left in Hughes. Back towards Bergzog. The Surinamese forward goes back to find support in Thompson. The high press from Bolton asking a lot of questions and forcing the visitors further back. There's a few more goals in the early kickoffs to tell you about. Oxford United have taken the lead at home against MK Dons. It's Mark Harris that's given the hosts the lead in that one. Whereas Newport County lead at home against Rochdale as well. Kyle Cameron giving the Welsh outfit the lead in that one against newly promoted Rochdale, who aren't really the same side that came up from the National League. That side has been gutted from head to toe in terms of quality. Poor clearance there by Conway. Maybe an opportunity here for Preston. Clearance isn't great either, but it falls to Devine. Ball into the area for Devine once again as he picks it up from Thompson. Goes towards the right hand side for Valentin. The back heel from Bergzog doesn't pan out. And then McAtee will find his supporting cast, and Bolton eventually clear their lines. But Preston are just beginning to wake up in this contest and asking a few more questions of the Bolton defence.
Certainly a little bit more positive signs there from Preston. We saw a little bit of play, I suppose, around the box in terms of the passing, which Bolton didn't really have an answer for some time. It was just that missed back heel, I suppose, that sort of killed that chance. I like the idea as well. Sometimes those unexpected things do come off, but hopefully we can see Preston start to be a bit more positive now and get themselves back into this one.
Now a chance for Sheehan to roll the ball forward, trying to set off McAtee. That's misplaced though, comfortably picked off by Liam Lindsay, who in turn will roll that back to Daniel Everson to restart things again from his own penalty area. We are at the halfway stage of this first half of this championship contest. It is Bolton 1, Preston North End 0, and taking us through to half-time and hopefully providing us with a bit more action and maybe a few more goals if we're at it as well, will be Sam Da Silva.
Yeah, and now we are backing away with Preston in possession. Bolton sitting reasonably deep here. I think they would be possibly happy to take this 1-0. Their second championship fixture, of course, after coming up for the first time since 18-19, and they're on the breakaway now. Bolton looking for a few options. The new signing, Larazabal, almost getting onto it in a dangerous area, but it will go back to Iverson. Looking for Lindsay, and Lindsay has plenty of time and space on the ball. We'll see what he can go for. Long ball searching for the number 28. That was Macic. good bit of skill from his match to get past his man, and attempted cross into the box and well cleared away by Bolton, and that was probably one of the best chances I suppose they've had.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best of a very, very few amount of chances they've been able to create, but it was a great bit of skill by Milutinos Majic to get away from his marker, broke into the area, just didn't really have the required support to try and lay it off to a teammate, was running it a bit into no man's land. In the end, it was quite simply defended by the Bolton defence, but it's so much better from the visitors.
Absolutely, and in terms of individual play, I suppose fantastic from his Majic. Now, I will give him credit for getting past his man, just not enough Preston players in the box, although it is launched in with a throw-in by the Preston boys. We'll see if they can potentially get themselves a chance here. Still on the edge of the area, into the box now, well delivered, and it's a little bit scrappy. Well won by Bolton. Now on the breakaway, it's going to be McAtee looking for some support up top. McAtee running into the box now, and it's going to be a shot and a fantastic goal by Bolton. I did not expect that one. What a goal by Bolton. McAtee initially starting off the counter, and I will just confirm the goal scorer shortly because I didn't quite get his shirt number. It was the number 11, Gale, and what a goal by Gale. I thought you have to roll that to McAtee. He's come with you, he supported you, and he just fires that into the side netting. Thoughts on that goal?
Wow, the Barbadian international Thierry Gale, that is absolutely stunning. Cuts in on his right boot on the edge of the area, and he's curled that perfectly into the bottom corner, leaving Daniel Everson with absolutely no chance. He may have been partly at fault for the first goal. He could hold his hands up and say, look, there's nothing I could do about that one. Brilliant counter-attacking goal for Thierry Gale, his 6th league goal for Bolton since joining in 2025 from Rapid Vienna, and the 24-year-old, I can't imagine is going to score too many better. What a start to the new season for Bolton.
Yeah, and I must say that's probably a great take, looking at the pictures and that we can see of the fans today. So many smiles on their faces after that one, and certainly Gale ought to be proud of that goal. He absolutely cut inside of Valentin just to get his shot away as well. I think both the goalkeeper and the defender he got the better of, and Bolton are certainly fancying themselves now, searching for long balls up top for Dolby, who of course scored that first goal. Preston are going to have a lot of work to do if they can get themselves back in this one, and the number 37 Bergzog looking to pick it up, and well defended, I must say, by Firmino, just getting the better of the winger. Bolton now searching long. It's going to be headed down by one of the Preston players, and just going to be picked up once again by the new signing Larrazabal for Bolton. Captain Sheehan passing back to Bonham. Bonham going to take his time on this one, and after all, after 2 goals, why should he not? He will go to search long, potentially for Dolby or the run of Larrazabal, and well brought down by Dolby, but unfortunately McAtee couldn't quite get on it before it goes back to Iverson, and potentially a foul here in the build-up. Yeah,
it looks like another yellow card has been shown. I believe that's Thompson that is being given a yellow card. So that's now both holding midfielders in Ali McCann and Jordan Thompson that have been shown the yellow card. I mean, yes, it's because he's kicked out there, Thompson. There was a slight pull. He's left a foot out there on McAtee. It's such a silly way to pick up a yellow card. They're just beginning to lose their heads now.
Yeah, and silly is absolutely the way to put it. There was no business that even being given as a foul if he'd not just stuck his leg out that tiny bit. I wouldn't even say he really kicked out at him. It was a very silly thing to do, putting pressure on his side and on himself now to not get that card, and it's fair to say Bolton are certainly frustrating Preston.
They're doing much more than that. They are the side on top at the moment. They smell blood. They think they can get a third, and a decent delivery here could spell the way for another.
And Sheehan looking for the run of one of those white shirts into the box, just to, I think, get it back across the face of goal, really, but managed well by Preston just to keep that chance snuffed out. And it's going to be Lindsay now passing back to Iverson, trying to play out from the back here, Preston. I'm wondering if that might put them under undue pressure in this, and whether they might potentially try and go long a few times. I know Osmacic has that ability to play up top by himself, and they will look for his run now. And we have Bonham coming out of the box just to clear that. No nonsense from the Bolton keeper, and a potential stoppage by the referee here after a foul. It looks like on Thompson, who of course got himself a yellow earlier. And we'll see, I think that will be a free kick for Preston. Upon seeing the replay now, not too much in it, I don't think, but Larrazabal just puts his back to Thompson, just causing the fall. Maybe a bit of a soft one, but I suppose no card given, so I do understand why. Yeah,
I don't think it was necessarily a yellow card offence, but he is looking at the man more than he is the ball to try and get his body to impede. It's a little bit similar to what we see a lot from Harry Kane, in terms of he'll look with the man is and back into them to make sure they can't get the ball as easy. It is dangerous play, but not enough for a yellow.
Yeah, absolutely, I think fair to say. And Bolton once again going to be on the breakaway from a Preston set piece, which is actually not even the first time that's happened. And fantastic play there by the goal scorer Gale, just turning his man and then getting the foul. And I mean, Bolton look great, and he certainly looks electric.
I think he might be the player of the match so far, Thierry Gale. He just cannot be dealt with by the Preston back line. He's got a great turn of pace, quick feet, and at the moment Paul Valentin just cannot handle him. Had to bring him down there. Fortunate to avoid any form of yellow card, I think, because he was being helped out by his teammates in the end. But it's so dangerous at the moment, Thierry Gale. Get him on the ball, and they are really struggling to contend with him.
Absolutely, I think it's not just his pace but his skill that's allowing that turn, and well brought up about Valentin, because he is getting the better of him quite a few times. We're only 30 minutes in, and you would probably say if it carries on like this, they're going to get more chances certainly on Gale's side, and that's not even mentioning Dolby, for example, and McAtee, who've also had some really good moments in this game so far. And Preston will possibly struggle here. The newly promoted side really putting on a show for their fans at home, which they deserve, of course, after coming back to the Championship after so long. The Bolton manager will be very glad with his side's performance. We're going to have a little bit of a stoppage, I think, potentially for a free kick here for Bolton, just pulling it back to Bonham. Bonham, plenty of time, will just stand on the ball, waiting for one of the front players from Preston to press him, like Lang, for example, who's the most advanced player. And Bolton are happy to pass it round the back shortly, just trying to get themselves out of this. No, wouldn't quite say press really by Preston, just slightly pressuring them, but not really running at full pace. Bolton going for the long ball on Gale's side again, but Story will have that covered, and that will go out for a throw-in for Preston.
They're not pressing as a unit whenever they are at the moment, the visitors. It's really easy for Bolton to play out from the back, and there's only one side in at the moment. They've still got about 50 minutes before half-time, but you can only really see the Lily Whites wanting this half-time whistle to come ASAP, just to regather their thoughts and regroup, because they're second best throughout the park.
Yeah, completely. And another huge chance potentially for Bolton, as you've said that, and it was crazy, because I thought it did look like a cross, of course, from Gale, but it was almost like it was about to just curl in and catch Iverson off guard there.
Yeah, it was a wicked delivery in from Gale. From the angle we've been provided, it's difficult to know how close Sam Dolby actually was to getting on the end of that. But the amount of curl he gets on it, with the bounce, it could easily have spun closer towards the goal than Everson probably thinks it's going. And once it does go out of play for a goal kick, he immediately turns and barks at his team, unhappy with the amount of time and space that Gale had. Preston at the moment, it just seemed like they're still on their summer holidays. They have not woken up.
Yeah, and I think not woken up is fair to say, especially after the performance they put in this afternoon. Bolton certainly should get some credit whenever they're in possession. They seem to really be utilising it well, not being wasteful at all. Searching long ball now for the new signing Larrazabal, who takes it down actually really well, and does just go out, but I thought he actually took that one down there. Fantastic first touch from him, maybe showcasing a bit of what he's going to bring to the club this season. It will be a throw-in taken by Story for Preston, looking to potentially go long or search in the middle, but unfortunately possession won back once again by Bolton, and Preston looks so unconvincing to me here. I think it's not just the fact that they've conceded two. That's okay, that happens, it's football, but I feel like they're getting, their heads are going down. There's a bit of a bad attitude from certain players, in the sense of the frustration is really coming through, and they're being wasteful whenever they're in possession.
Yeah, they're being really wasteful. Minos Majic has been a bystander for the vast majority. Lang, Bergzog and Devine haven't combined well in the attack either. And defensively they've looked pretty easy to carve open at times so far, Preston. It's not been a championship performance from them so far. They're one of the stalwarts of the second division, really, Preston and North End. They never really look in danger of going down. They never really look like they're going to challenge for automatic promotion or playoffs with much regularity. They're always somewhere around the middle of the park. And considering Bolton are getting a 2-0 lead earlier on in this game and in this season, it puts Bolton in really good stead to believe that, you know, we can find this in this division and we can stay up.
Yeah, and I think they absolutely could. Certainly seeing this performance from them this afternoon, and Bolton just keep going and going at them, and I think potentially a foul there by the number 6 will not be called by the referee. It was a foul on number 10, Dolby, just seemed to be holding on to him, but no matter. Bolton somehow managed to get possession back once again and looking so convincing this afternoon. 34 minutes past now. We're going to have 10 minutes plus some extra time, I'd have thought, given by the referee. And if I was a Preston player, I'd probably be wanting to go into that locker room rather quick. Fantastic play once again by Gale, and Bolton just all over Preston here. Potentially a chance, and the number 25 just trying to get past his man, not quite getting there, and going to pass back to Gale now. Gale will possibly look for the cross, but no looking for his captain, Sheehan. Sheehan looking for the cross for the number 45, McAtee back into the box, and it will be offside. And what fantastic football. It will be confirmed as offside by the linesman, but my God, Bolton looked incredible there. Electric and fantastic link-up play as well by all the forward players. What are your thoughts on that, despite the offside?
It was gorgeous to watch, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant throughout Bolton there. The floated ball over towards the far post, the knockdown from McAtee, the right decision, and Dolby has the simple tap in at the far post. We yet to see a replay to see if it is offside or how close it was. With our off-duty studio pictures, we might not get that conclusive evidence, but he wouldn't bet against Bolton getting a third before the end of the half here.
They look absolutely ready for it, and certainly I think they'll want to as well. This is a celebration, of course, for them and their fans, and giving them something to cheer for after so long, not in the Championship, which I keep referring to, but of course is huge, a huge deal. You know, one of the strongest leagues in Europe, which is, you know, crazy to say, saying that it's a second division, of course, a very strong division. They'll be happy to be back, certainly where their fans feel they belong, and there'll be a little bit of interplay at the back for Bolton now, really taking their time, not needing to be rushed, of course, looking for Dolby up top, but not unfortunately getting the ball down for himself. Preston now looking to come away, and potentially their first big chance of the game now, and well defended by Bolton. He'll be celebrating with the fans there. I can see Farino just, you know, giving a big cheer towards the fans that are just behind the goal, because he actually did come in a little bit.
The vital block at the last, yes, it will be a corner kick, but he got the fans right behind him there, and that is the sort of determination you want to see from your defenders. Even when you've got a bit of a cushion at 2-0, you don't want to lose that clean sheet.
Yeah, and it's very much a tale of two stories. It'll be a corner now from Preston, looking for the run on the outside of the box, and not a bad idea. I mean, the man was completely free, but now it's going to lead to another Bolton counter-attack, and Gale once again looking so dangerous, going past his man, looking for the run of McAtee, and not quite getting the pass right. Again, Gale looking so dangerous today, and unfortunate that he didn't quite find the run of McAtee, but I'd wager, like you said, the third goal is definitely coming.
And on the counter-attack, they look so dangerous. It's almost an opportunity for Preston. The through ball from Devine almost finding Militon Majic there. But, you know, Gale breaking forward was really clever with how he dribbled the ball forward as well. He cut off the running lane of Paul Valentin, which meant he couldn't get back in front of him, was in danger of fouling the Barbadian as well. But he just gets his pass wrong, and it doesn't set off McAtee. But he's on the ball again here.
And Gale just showing some really flary stuff, looking for McAtee now with a shot, and I have to comment there on the touch from Gale, just leading to the pass to McAtee. That speaks to a player in full confidence, who's feeling good, doing things with a smile, which sounds strange, but I think when you see players feeling relaxed on the pitch, they get their best performances. Gale with an almost Neymar-esque touch to carry on the run there, and I think that says everything about how Bolton are feeling today. We can really see that separation between the sort of joy and confidence in Bolton compared to how Preston have been, very much shoulders down and frustration and yellow cards, of course. I don't want to write them off too early here, Preston, but Bolton look good for the win. Yeah, they look really good for the win. You struggle to see how Preston are getting to get back into this. Of course, one goal can completely change the context and the complexion of the match, but it's a long road back at the moment for the Lily Whites at the moment. We just saw a brief replay of the goal that was chalked off for offside from Bolton Wanderers. And granted, we didn't get to see any form of lines in terms of the offside lines, or really the position of, I believe it was McAtee at the far post, but when the ball was kicked over to him by Alan Sheehan. But for me, from the angles I've seen, I think he might have been onside. I think it might have been a little bit of a let-off for Preston. Potentially. Of course, we both thought it was onside initially after it was called, of course, and hard to say with the images we saw. But yeah, potentially that was the third goal that was let off, and Bolton will keep chasing it. It certainly is a positive sign regardless for Bolton. And Preston now in possession. It's going to be with Lindsay looking for a long ball into the box, but no one there to receive it. I think he was looking for the run of Macic, who, fortunate for him, has not really been involved very much, which I don't think is his fault, of course. They've just not really found him. No, not at all. I mean, he's such a dangerous player in and around the box when he gets the ball, but he's so rarely found himself in shooting positions, partly due to the decent defending from Bolton, and partly because the build-up play from Preston has been that poor so far. I think there's definitely something that Paul Heckingbottom will try and instill into his side at half-time in terms of just trying to get Osmaic on the ball inside the area that bit more. There are a few more goals to tell you about in the other early kickoffs, by the way. MK Dons have turned things around against Oxford United. Goals from Good and Collins, making it 2-1 to the visitors there. Reading a 3-1 up against Luton. A hat-trick in the first half from Jack Marriott has meant the Royals lead that one, and Newport have also doubled their advantage. Shaquille Gwengui getting the second for the host in that one. We'll see a little replay there, a foul from Larrazabal, which will give Preston back possession now with Lindsay looking to drive a little bit. It does seem like he will try and go for the long ball and decides to go short, which was snuffed out by the Bolton players. Larrazabal looking to carry on the play forward. Devine just kicking that out. It will be a throw-in for Preston. The number 27, Stevenson, responsible for that throw, will go all the way back to the Bolton defence, and they will certainly take their time now. McAtee on the ball, rather deep actually. Gale once more just turning away from his man, and it does seem to have been fouled, which the referee will call. And Gale drawing another big foul and a yellow card now for Preston, and I believe that will be Valentin, and it's been a real cat and mouse game for these two today. I think we've mentioned their names in conjunction 3 or 4 times, and we kept saying Gale was really getting the better of him, and Valentin seems to have finally gotten a bit of frustration out on him. Yeah, it was only a matter of time before he was going to be fouled by Paul Valentin there, and it's always going to get a yellow card, the Spaniard. 3 players now in the book for Preston from this first half. It's going to be a bit of a tall order, you'd imagine, for them to remain with 11 players, I should say, on the field come the end of the 90 minutes, because they're getting penalised for the majority of their fouls with yellow cards, but there's just so much frustration bubbling under the surface for Preston at the moment. Completely, and I think if I'm the manager, I'm going in at half-time, and I am probably going to be wanting to make some changes, and not to disparage any players playing today, but certainly Valentin might be seen as a bit of a liability on that side, being on a yellow card, and Gale has gotten the better of him quite a few times. That defence needs to tighten up from Preston, and potentially the manager will be looking to make those changes. We see a foul, it looks like, potentially from Lindsay on Stevenson, but not sure it was quite given. Stevenson now in possession. Bolton once more looking to get the ball away and looking for the run of Larrazabal, not quite finding him, and Larrazabal just putting his thumbs up. He knows he'll probably get another chance in this game to get on the ball anyway. It's going to be a throw-in now for Preston, and 43 minutes gone. Of course, not long now to go till half-time. What are your predictions potentially for the second half?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a big half for Preston. I think I'd be a bit surprised if Paul Higginbottom doesn't make at least one change at the half-time interval. I think something has got to give for them. And Bolton just need to keep their heads and in order to get all 3 points. I think there's every chance Preston can win the second half. Whether or not it's enough to overturn the current result, though, that's what remains to be seen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not to doubt Preston's quality, but I think Bolton have showed up here today really up for this game, and potentially, even if Preston do find their feet a little bit more in the second half, like you say, I would be surprised to see them overturn the 2-goal result. Bolton now once more in possession, and they will potentially look to break away once more, and not sure how that wasn't defended, to be honest. Gale now on the ball and licking his lips potentially, but will look to find the run of Dolby. Dolby not quite getting on it. It was a little bit far for him. Lindsay just sweeping that up, and Preston looking to now break away. Their last chance, I wager, in this first half, and they do manage to get the breakaway. It's going to be the number 10, Lang, looking for the run of his man, but not quite finding him, or should I say it was good defending by Stevenson, but that was probably their last big chance.
Yeah, you'd imagine so, particularly as the fourth official just showed 1 minute of added time at the end of this half. There was a wonderful idea of a pass from Lang, trying to thread it through the gap for Ismajic, but brilliantly intercepted the last there by the Bolton defender.
Completely, and I think what we've just seen there in just a snapshot of the game is exactly what Preston have needed to do, to be honest, is those fast breakaways and managing to get the ball into the box and to those attacking players as quickly as possible with a little bit more precision than they have done. Hopefully, if they can do a little bit more of that in the second half, they may manage to get themselves back in this fixture, but it will be a free kick now for Bolton, which will be taken deeper, or reasonably deep, into their own half by the keeper, looking to find the run of Dolby, but just going to go out. It's going to be a goal kick now for Preston North End, and the half now almost over. I'd be surprised to see the referee not blow his whistle very shortly after the goal kick from Iverson. Iverson possibly going to look to go longer here, and it will actually just be called by the referee now. After a fantastic first half, it'll be Bolton 2, Preston 0.
Half-time, it is Bolton 2, Preston 0. Bolton deservedly in the lead, and they managed to get the opener after McAtee's half-volley was saved by Everson. Sam Dolby at the rebound, tapping home from on the edge of the area, giving Bolton the 1-0 advantage. It was 2-0 after 25 minutes as McAtee found Gale on the counter-attack. Gale cutting away from Paul Valentin before curling a beauty into the bottom left-hand corner. Preston have been pretty poor throughout. They've had one shot blocked from Delano Bergdog, but that's about it. Well, we are back underway for the second half of this contest between Bolton and Preston North End. 2-0 to the hosts after the first period of 45 minutes. And it's now all eyes on Preston to see how they can get back into this game, or if they can somehow overturn this deficit. It doesn't look like there has been any changes at the half-time interval for either of these two sides, so it is very much as we were. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment, because there was a chance for Gale to break forward for the host, but he has been forced to cut back and into his own defensive half, so Bolton can restart things from the back once again. So for the Trotters, it's Bonham in goal, Stevenson, Farino, Famewu and Conway in the back four. Sheehan and Arayan are the holding midfielders, and it's Gale, McAtee and Larazabal supporting Dolby up top. For Preston, it's Iverson in goal, Hughes, Lindsay, Story and Valentin in the back four. McCann and Thompson, the holding midfielders, Lang, Devine and Bergzog supporting their lone striker of Militin Osmajic. It's myself, Will Maxwell and Sam De Silva taking you through this one. And Sam, are you surprised there's been no changes at the half-time interval?
I certainly am. It's something I advocated for, certainly in terms of Preston. Of course, they've drawn a few yellow cards already. The frustration was building up. Nothing was really coming off for them, I think it's fair to say, in the first half as well. I spoke about Valentin and Gale and that kind of matchup between the fullback and the winger, and Valentin has, got himself a yellow card and Gale keeps driving at him. I'm very surprised no changes have been made.
Yes, we'll have to see how big of a decision that is from Paul Heckingbottom to not make any substitutions at this point in time. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with everything that goes on in our game and the other early kickoffs in the EFL. 3 of which still at half-time. Notts County 0, Leicester 0, Reading 3, Luton 1 and Newport 2, Rochdale 0. Oldham against Port Vale and Oxford United against MK Dons have kicked off for the second half. That's a silly tackle there by Alan Sheehan. That's going to be a free kick and a clear yellow card as well to the Bolton captain. Just to confirm the scores of those other games: Oldham 0, Port Vale 0 and Oxford United 1, MK Dons 2. It's a free kick for Preston in what is definitely a shooting area, and I don't think Sheehan can have any complaints of getting a yellow card there.
No, certainly not. He catches the heel of Devine there, the big signing for Preston, who came in for $6 million, of course. Fairly handsome fee, I suppose, in the Championship. And potentially that might be the reason why he took him down, just knowing what he might be able to do. Although, unfortunately, Sheehan has now given Preston a free kick in quite a dangerous area.
Yes, looks like it's a 4-man wall for Bolton. Seeing Famewu, Dolby, Conway, I think Farino all in a line to try and block this free kick. There's 3 men standing over this for Preston as well. Thompson fancies his chances, as does McCann. Believe Devine might also be there as well. 4 or 5 players in Preston Red lurking to try and get the rebound should it fall their way. It will be Thompson that hits. It's really well blocked by Conway, looping high into the air, and Gale, under pressure, will hammer the ball away from danger on the volley, but it's straight into the chest of Devine, who floats a gorgeous ball into the area. It is turned away by Stevenson, and it will be hammered further away from danger by Larazabal. And now McAtee will break forward here. McAtee will go for goal. Oh, it's only just wide of the right-hand post. He decided to hit it on the volley. It had Everson backtracking. He flung himself over to his right-hand side. He had Dalby in support in the area. A lovely effort from McAtee, and it wasn't too far away at all.
No, fantastic effort by McAtee, and done really well as well to get himself on the breakaway. Had a couple of players chasing him as well, so for him to make the opportunity for himself there was fantastic bit of work and play. But I must say again, Preston are really looking weak in terms of the breakaways. They're just not defending them well.
No, but they've got another opportunity here. End-to-end stuff for this opening 5 minutes. The ball falls to Devine. It's a poor effort, though, from the man signed from Tottenham Hotspur, hitting his volley straight into the floor. And his effort will go comfortably wide and out of play for a goal kick from Alfie Devine. I think we would have expected him to, at the very least, hit the target there. Maybe put off by the jump and jostling of players in front of him. But a player of his quality should be doing a little bit better there.
Yeah, potentially so. It has to be said, those sort of volleys, sometimes, especially at the sort of angles you're looking at there, where he is, quite some way to the right of goal, The technique is very difficult. I can see what he tried to do. He tried to hit it into the ground just so it'd be on target, but unfortunately too narrowly hit into the ground and sailed way over Bonham.
He had a decent loan spell at Preston last season. Did the 22-year-old Alfie Devine. 8 goals in 45 league appearances for the Lily Whites. There's a chance now for Lang to break forward. He has been judged to have been offside. It was a lovely ball in by Lang, which had a simple tap in for Ismajic should the flag have stayed down. But he has been judged to have been offside, and there will be a chance for Bolton to clear their lines once again. It will be their goalkeeper in the Irishman, Jack Bonham, that will take this. The 32-year-old signed from Stoke City in January of 2026. He's been around the blocks in England, started his career at Watford, only made 1 appearance for them, but a couple of appearances for Brentford and more productive spells at Stoke and Gillingham. He'll be able to call Bolton home for a prolonged period of time for the Irishman, although born in Stevenage. He's only made 5 appearances for the under-17s of the Republic of Ireland. Maybe now he plays in the Championship, could give him a chance to break into the international squad with better performances down the line this season. Chance now for Preston with the throw-in on this near left-hand side, which will be Valentin that will take. Picked off by Lang, tries to get away from Orion. Now with Farino. Bonham takes no chances, launching that away from danger. Knocked down by Firmero. Here's Gale, tries to skip away from his marker, blocked Orion, then can't thread it through towards McAtee. Poor pass by Lang, picked off again by Elliot Orion. Sorry, Ethan Orion, I should say. That is to pick up proceedings once more. Conway, back it will go towards Firmero once again. Patient build-up here by Bolton Wanderers. And here's Sheehan to try and start a new attack going forward. On the right-hand side is Larathabal. Decent ball in towards McAtee. Dalby wants it in the middle, tries to dig out a cross. Was it blocked? No, it does go out of play for a goal kick. He was trying to just dink it towards Dalby inside the area. And in the end, he was being well marked and marshalled by Liam Lindsay, and he just would not allow the cross to come in.
It was a fantastic ball to find McAtee in the first place. I must say, a good run from him, of course, but great passing play just to find him. And as I say, that Bolton come here again.
Oh, it was Gale who decided to go for goal from about 30-35 yards out. Acres of space in front of him. I don't think you can blame him for going for goal, but he gets his execution all wrong and sends his effort comfortably over the crossbar. But with how he's performed so far in this game, you probably would have expected a little bit better from him.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair criticism to make of Gale. He has been fantastic this game, not to take that away from him, of course, but on that particular chance, had quite a lot of time, quite a lot of space. You should test the keeper.
Should, as Gale does pick it up again on this left-hand side. Waits for an overlap, won't utilise him, instead goes back towards Sheehan, who plays the floated ball into the box looking for McAtee, turned away. Will the Spaniard, Larathabal, get on the end of it? He does, and no foul on Bergzog, so the attack continues here for Bolton. Needs to be a good delivery on that far side by Farino. It's not a good delivery. It will fall instead to a Preston man who goes down, and he's managed to win a free kick out of nothing there, Hughes. McAtee furious with that decision from the referee and the linesman. He thought he won the ball cleanly. We will see a replay here. I think he does get a decent amount of the ball there, McAtee. If he does get a bit of the man, it's minimal. I think it's a little bit harsh. Yeah,
I completely agree. It was actually a great defensive play, or pressing from the front, if you like, by McAtee. And just as I was saying that, Preston had a huge chance to come back, but once again well defended by Bolton. And yeah, the way it's been looking, I'd wager Bolton could get another one before Preston do. Well, Sam Dalby will try and break forward here for Bolton as Gale through the middle, won't utilise him, has support behind him in Arayan, and eventually does go towards Gale. There's space on the right hand side here for Larathabal on the edge of the area, goes for goal right underneath it. He puts his head in his shirt, it's gone over the crossbar, and with the way you're gesticulating there, Sam, I think he's done the wrong decision. Yeah, potentially so, although we'll see on the replay. I'm wondering if there was potentially a deflection on that shot, although as I say that, we can see Stevenson potentially got himself badly injured earlier there. Bergzog landing on top of him, it looks like, right? And it seems that potentially has caused some trouble for Stevenson on his ankle, and we'll see if that might lead to a change for Bolton.
Yeah, it'll be sad to see him be replaced, Stevenson, because he's had a decent performance so far. The 22-year-old signed from Liverpool in the summer after a successful loan spell at Dundee United. But that was a nasty looking injury after Bergzog landed on his ankle. Gets caught in the floor more than anything. As we see the replays of the goals that Bolton scored in the first half, particularly that second one from Gale, is absolutely gorgeous. It goes straight over to Schumacher to celebrate, and the Bolton players will just get some more fluids into them whilst we wait for the result to see if Lucas Stevenson is going to be okay to continue. In terms of options that could be brought off the bench, looking at Lewis Brunt, Ben Davies, Cyrus Christie and Owen Towell to come on if needs be. Ben Davies was one of 3 changes from the Bolton side in their defeat last weekend, but he is more of a central defender rather than a fullback. You'd probably say the veteran Cyrus Christie is the likeliest player to come on if they need to. Stevenson is coming off the field of play on his own volition to get the final bit of treatment, but there's a little limp to his walk.
Yeah, and I think you always worry during those injuries because, you know, sometimes, not to disparage players, but if it's right after a tackle, you know, there is a little bit of theatrics sometimes, and you wonder whether it's for the referee or if they're really injured. In his case, it was one of those as a complete accident. He puts a tackle in, and Bergzog lands on top of him, on top of his ankle as well, with essentially his full body weight, and you'd wager that Stevenson is probably genuinely injured.
Yes, we'll have to see if he is going to be able to continue here or not. We're not seeing any suggestion of a change being readied up so far from Stephen Schumacher. But Lucas Stevenson is still off the field for the time being, so it is 11 v 10 as Bergzog breaks forward. He'll go back towards Thompson, left hand side for Hughes. Support ahead of him in the Northern Irishman Thompson. Bergzog wants to flick it over towards the number 16. It's well dealt with, but then McCann gets a toe in and he'll keep the ball in play as well. The Preston man digs out across, looking for Lang at the far post. Lang's header is up rather than a meaningful effort towards goal. It is a save, nevertheless, for Jack Bodham. It might be his first save he's actually had to make, but he'll take them all day long. That's just catching practice.
Yeah, certainly. I think if those are the only saves he's asked to make today, he'll have a great day at home today. And not many convincing chances from Preston during not only this half but certainly this game. They're looking a little bit better in possession, I must say, in this half. They're certainly seeming a little bit more threatening than they have been and been less wasteful, but certainly not enough to probably overturn the result today.
Not at all, as we wait a throw-in now to be taken for Bolton on that far right-hand side after of a sloppy play from the Preston defence. There's a few more goals to tell you about in the early kickoffs, and really it's a humdinger at the Medeski Stadium, as it's now Reading 3, Luton 3. 2 goals in quick succession from Casey Palmer in the 50th and 53rd minute has made it Reading 3, Luton Town 3. What a game that is in League One. EFL football well and truly back. Gale drives into the area, tries to get away from his marker, does so, tries to curl it towards the far corner. Nice idea from Thierry Gale, couldn't get the required whip on his effort. It does go wide of the mark, and well, head in his hands for Gale, head in his hands for Stephen Schumacher. Neither can quite believe it's not 3.
Yeah, I think he was lucky to kind of get the chance initially as well. Valentin did actually manage to get a foot in, and Gale somehow managed to keep possession of the ball, and I can understand why the shot went wide. It's a little bit tough to see from that angle because you have a defender sort of in front of him, if you like, but Gale once again creating chances, making shots for himself here for Bolton, and you probably fancy him to score another one today.
Dolby finding Gale, not the grace of passes there by the Barbadian, and then a lovely play by McAtee to win possession back off of Valentin, but his back heel was too optimistic. It's intercepted and turned away from danger. It won't fall to Lang. Bonham will just neutralise his strength and rolls it out, but it's a poor pass by the goalkeeper. Gale bundled over. Has he been fouled? No, says the referee, and apparently hasn't gone out of play according to the linesman. But it will eventually be brought back here for an offside on Larathabal. So it will be a free kick for Preston just inside their own half. Another goal to tell you about in one of the early kickoffs, and it's one of the games that hadn't had a goal previously. Oldham Athletic have taken the lead at home at Boundary Park against Port Vale, and it is Callum Kavanagh that has given the Latics the lead in that contest. So it's now the only game without a goal in the early kickoffs across the three EFL divisions is Notts County against Leicester City. Here is Sheehan rolling out towards Larathabal. Needs a little bit of support, tries to play the ball over towards Dalby, and Dalby will do so well to go on the end of that. He's done well to utilise his strength to just nudge Story into the ball, and with the miscontrol, it will go out of play for a corner kick to Bolton. Lovely play by Dalby to win that corner.
Yeah, fantastic play by Dolby, as you mentioned. The first goal scorer, of course, during this match, after the rebound given to him kindly by Iverson, has looked really good today, and I think the whole sort of attacking mixture from Bolton has looked super impressive to me. McAtee, Gale, Dolby, Larathabal, who probably has been the more quiet of the four, who's still shown some really good signs, and hopefully some good upcoming signs from this season.
Chance from this corner kick then for Bolton to get a third, and you can only assume a third goal for Bolton will kill this game off as a contest. Ball into the box, well punched away by Daniel Everson, and it will actually make its way all the way out for a throw in for Bolton on the far right hand side, midway between the penalty area and the halfway line. Triple change being readied up now for Preston North End. First one seeing Jordan Thompson making way. Looks like that is going to be Leo Leroy that is going to enter the field of play, the Frenchman. A like-for-like swap there. We're still yet to get confirmation of the other changes. Looks like Paul Valentin has also run his race. Odeluga of Fire, the former Brighton man, is going to replace him at fullback, just to give someone a little bit more respite after the difficult dealings with Thierry Gale. We're yet to see who the third change will be, but it looks to me that Youssef Erabi has entered the field of play, the forward. I'm not sure if it's Lang or Devine that has come off. I believe it's the number 10. So there's Callum Lang off, Youssef Erabi on.
And those changes hopefully will look to impact this game. Certainly a few changes that we've both been crying out for in this game. Of course, Valentin being taken off, which I think will be a good thing, putting a defender with fresh legs on against Gale, who of course has been running and has been everywhere during the last 64 minutes. Will hopefully quiet him down on the wing, and Erabi might provide a little bit more than Lang. We'll see how the changes impact the game.
Well, Erabi will definitely offer some physicality. 6', 23-year-old forward from Sweden, signed on loan from Genk this summer. This is his debut for his new club. Only scored one goal in 15 appearances for Genk, but that was after a pretty successful time with Hammarby in Sweden. 19 goals in 73 league appearances in 5 years at the Swedish club. Also scored 16 in 46 for the reserve team of Hammarby as well. There's definitely something about this Swedish striker, but we'll yet to see what he can bring. I mean, looking at him from a physicality point of view, he's got strength, he's got the physical nature. What he probably doesn't have is the pace, but both he and Militin Osmajic up top for Preston, very physical strikers, so they won't try and hit balls on the counter, but long ball football might be the order of play.
Yeah, and I think it's something for Preston to be trying at this stage, because what they have done clearly hasn't worked for them. And they are now breaking away, so potentially their first big chance.
Osmajic's effort is saved well by Bonham, and eventually that is turned away by the Bolton defence. Lovely cutting pass to set off the Preston North End Montenegrin striker. It's his first meaningful opportunity of this game, but you've got to give credit there to Jack Bonham. He was off his line quickly and managed to shut down the angle.
Yeah, absolutely. The first big chance in this game for Preston, which of course Bonham had to snuff out, and he did very well to come out and meet his man. Although, just to give Preston a little bit of credit, I must say it was a fantastic pass by Devine, just absolutely cutting that defence, just couldn't make the most of it.
Couldn't make the most of it on that time of asking. Long ball forward will look towards Dalby, turned away by Story. Sheehan finds Arayan. He does really well to spread it towards the left now for Thierry Gale, trying to take on Afire. Lovely tackle there by Afire, and he has won that first battle against Thierry Gale. He has given away a corner kick, but we'll be interesting to see the difference in joy that Gale gets on this left-hand side. He was getting the better of Valentin the vast majority of the time. Afire has pace and plenty more strength than Valentin.
Yeah, not only that, but of course the stamina. He's got fresh legs, he's coming off the bench, and I think potentially not to write him off too soon, but it was a nice first defensive cameo there by Afire, and Gale might have his fun over today.
Very possibly waiting on this corner kick to be taken. Instead, Lucas Stevenson is back onto the field of play for Bolton. It's a dangerous ball in, headed up rather than away by Preston man as Majic helps it on. It will be recycled though, and a chance for Bolton to put the ball back in. Sheehan, dangerous delivery again. The header won't fall kindly to Dalby. It's a fire, and it will fall to Arabi, and he can't do anything else but pass the ball out for a throw-in for Bolton in line with the penalty area. A matter of inches away from making it 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I just said that Gale's fun was over, but that delivery from him was rather dangerous, and Preston still sweating today. 67 minutes passed during this game, and it's fair to say there could certainly be another in it for Bolton.
Conway goes back towards Farino. He'll look up and play the crossfield pass for Conway. Can't be turned away by Afire. Picked up again though by Sheehan. Lovely play by Bolton there. Sheehan will go for goal from range and is comfortably saved by Daniel Evenson, but glorious 1-2 between Sheehan and Conway in the build-up. And Sheehan, I think, has every right to go for goal there. Gets it on target, but nothing really meaningful from an accuracy and power point of view.
Yeah, certainly it was directly at the keeper, but in terms of the build-up to get himself in that position, the bit of chemistry between Conway and Sheehan was fantastic there. The little back heel into the space where Sheehan needed to be to get his chance away. And again, that's why we've been so convinced today with Bolton's performance. Even with so many new signings, of course, it doesn't seem to affect the chemistry.
I think another replay of that save by Jack Bonham. He got out quickly and made himself big. Got a vital save to hurt that ball away from danger. He hasn't had too much to do so far, Jack Bonham, and he was called into action at that time of asking. We are at the halfway stage of this second half. It is Bolton 2, Preston North End 0, and taking us through to full time will be Sam Da Silva.
Pleasure, and it's going to be Bolton kicking it back off now with a throw-in, and certainly they look good to hold the lead for their second fixture of the championship season thus far. It's going to be another throw-in now for Bolton. Will be taken by Stevenson, who seems to be back up and about after the earlier not challenge, should I say, but a little bit of a incident with Bergzog. Preston now looking to break away. It's the newly introduced striker Arabi seeing his first bit of possession now. Preston still holding on to the ball, but Bolton sending many players high to really pressure the midfield and even the defence to some degree. And Preston looking to go long now, searching for a run, but no one to meet it. It's going to be won back now by the number 25 Conway, and now looking for the run of Dalby, I believe, but it is just going to be offside. It does seem a little frustrated, but I do think Lindsay would have potentially just had him either way. But again, another chance for Bolton.
Yet another opportunity there for Bolton. Dalby just missed timing his run. Bit of pushing and shoving as well from Liam Lindsay to make things awkward, but I think he was about half a yard or two offside there, but they're still looking so dangerous with those balls over the top against this Preston backline. There's a few more updates to give you as well. It's still Newport County 2, Rochdale 0, but Rochdale are now down to 10 men. Second yellow card for Belongo has meant that the Rochdale man has been shown his marching orders. And finally, there is a goal in the game between Notts County and Leicester City. The visitors have taken the lead. Jaden Joseph giving the Foxes the lead in that one.
And breakaway now from Bolton. Once again, Sheehan now on his own, looking to pick the ball up, looking for the new signing, Razabal. What can he do? To 3 men on him. He's going to pass that back, as he might, of course, under that kind of pressure. And Bolton getting all the time and space in the world, basically on the halfway line here, showing us Preston's mentality now for the remaining 20 minutes of the game. Certainly trying not to concede any more. And a lovely cheekily chipped ball there by Razabal. Once more looking for Stevenson. Will Stevenson look to get the cross in? No, he will be playing that back, and plenty of space to run into now for the Bolton player, and well defended by Preston. I must say, Hughes managed to get to it when he needed to in a dangerous area. We can see the captain Sheehan there just gesturing to the fans, geeing them up, and certainly their presence today will have made a bit of a difference.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. They are the 12th man, aren't they? The home support. I'm sure they've been sucking the ball into the goal wherever possible, and I can only imagine how booming the atmosphere is at the Tufshie Community Stadium. What a return to Championship football it has been so far for the Bolton faithful. I don't think they really could have dreamed of a better result and maybe better performance, because they've been absolutely brilliant to a man today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the side has certainly given the fans what they've deserved and probably waited for so long. We can see the stadium is absolutely packed, and I only mention them because I see a few instances of Sheehan, Farina, of course, after that fantastic tackle earlier in the first half, looking to turn to the fans and geeing them up. So it must mean a lot for both them and the players today. We're going to have another corner now for Bolton, and delivery into the box. And just flicked on, and I think potentially won't be given as a corner, to the disbelief of the Bolton players. We'll potentially see what happened there on a further replay, but as it stands, that will be a goal kick, which will be taken by Iverson. And yeah, I do think actually the corner seems to have been the right decision and will be correctly then given to Bolton.
Yeah, it is definitely a corner kick. I think Bolton players were upset that it wasn't a handball, as the corner kick is taken, comfortably gathered by Everson in the Preston goal, but they were complaining that they thought it hit the arm of Liam Lindsay, but it was not given as a chance now maybe for Preston on the counter, but Osmajic can't bring it down, comes to be picked up by Jack Bonham.
Yeah, Osmajic will be a little bit frustrated with that. You know, we were talking about maybe switching up the type of play, going for that long ball football, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Everson straight away seeking his striker, and now back with Bolton, and not the most convincing shot. Everson having an easy save on his hands, and it was, I believe, number 10, Dolby, just striking it, and it doesn't really seem to catch it right, does he? He just kind of bobbles, and it's almost like a nice sweet pass into the hands of Iverson.
He should be doing better there, maybe scoring, or at least making the goalkeeper work a bit more than he did. It was a scuff, definite, straight at the goalkeeper, but after already getting a goal to his namesake, Sam Dolby, you would expect him to do much better from that position.
Yeah, absolutely, a big chance for him to put his side up 3-0, and we're going to see potentially the first changes now for Bolton, getting those confirmations shortly.
Yeah, so it looks like McAtee is the first man making way. I think the two players coming on are Ryan Hardy, who's on loan from Wrexham, and that is going to be the man that replaces McAtee in that one. So Hardy, very capable forward. And we're also seeing Razabal make way, an exciting winger coming on in Samuel Illing Jr. On loan from Aston Villa, was signed from Juventus a few seasons ago. He will be a real danger man on that right-hand side.
Yeah, certainly, and a player with a lot to prove in a sense. Of course, any Football Manager fans, for example, will know he was touted as a wonder kid some years back, and will potentially look to make a big impact on this game. And certainly interesting changes from a Bolton perspective, going quite attacking and actually not relenting on Preston. You'd think maybe they would try and just hold the lead, and I really like that from the manager, just deciding to actually keep going at them.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm always happy to see teams not rest on their laurels even when they're ahead. They want to go for the jugular. They want to make it a bit more of a cricket score, give their fans something to cheer about, and make sure that there's no nerves towards the back end of the game. You don't want to give the opposition any form of inkling that they can get back into this contest. Yeah,
100%, and I think that is well said. It's very much a case of Bolton's best defence, in a sense, has been how unrelenting they have been in the attack, and Preston won't really be able to deal, I suspect, with the number 39 and Samuel Illing Jr., of course. Hardy replacing McAtee, who had a very good game, and a little bit of a run now coming on for the number 25, Conway, just being put by McCann, the captain of Preston, to an end. And Preston in possession now, out onto the wings. We'll see if they can create something for themselves now. They certainly need it. And it's going to be a cross into the box and right into the hands of Bonham. Nothing to worry about for Bolton, and certainly with 15 minutes to go, you'd suspect Bolton will manage to hold on convincingly. But we've seen a few more positive signs from Preston.
Of course, yeah, plenty more positives from Preston so far. I mean, I'm not sure if the changes have completely flipped the script on its head here, but they've been a much better outfit in the second half. They've been much more dangerous, and we've got an opportunity here.
Yeah, and a huge chance. I cannot believe it's potentially not an offside.
What have you done?
Oh my God, looking for the short pass, which arguably might be the right decision, but I have to say, if you're a striker, you are as matched, you have to go for goal. You have to go for goal. You have to back yourself. I do understand the decision, but that was really, really wasted. If it's not offside, the biggest waste of a chance we've seen this afternoon.
Yeah, and all the Preston fans behind the goal will be screaming in agony that they completely messed up the opportunity. Osmajic put his shirt over his head. He can't believe it. Golden opportunity to half the deficit and make it a really tantalising end to this game, but he has really fluffed his lines there. It is going to be a corner kick for Preston, but what an opportunity squandered.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think as Macic might have already made this game history. Not to lay the blame solely at his door, of course. Preston haven't looked great all afternoon, but that was the chance to get them back into the game, and as it stands now, I don't see them coming back. It will be a corner now for Preston. Gesturing for a goal kick are the Bolton players. Bonham potentially going down a little bit funny there, and just referring back to that earlier chance, I have to say, we were mentioning some of those changes, and there will actually be 2 more changes for Preston. I've been very, very impressed by Devine's performance in the second half.
Yeah, he's finally showing his quality, Devine, as he's going to remain on the field. Bergzog and Hughes are the 2 players that are going to make way, and it looks like Thierry Small is going to be the man that replaces Bergzog, and then it's a bit of a like-for-like swap at the back. Another Montenegrin onto the field for Preston. It's Andrea Vukovic that has come on. He lost his place after starting in the win, or the penalty victory, over Huddersfield Town in the EFL Cup, but he's now back onto the field as well.
Yeah, I think there's no harm in making those changes, especially as it stands with 10 minutes left to go. Maybe trying to shore up those wings where Bolton have had so much joy today. And as I say that, we're going to see the first glimpse of Samuel Illing Jr. and looking to take 2 men on here, and potentially a chance for him. And a very dangerous deflection there. I thought it almost would have maybe actually caught Iveson off guard and gone in. Bolton will manage to hold on to possession regardless, now with Gale, the other winger, standing on the left, who's been just fantastic today. Had a fire put onto the pitch, potentially just to take care of him and quieten him down somewhat. It will be Gale once again in possession with a fantastic ball looking into the middle now. Samuel Illing Jr., can he take on his man, and will he potentially look for an easier layoff? He will indeed. Bolton really comfortable in possession at the edge of the box, and to be honest, Preston seem almost happy to let them have the ball.
Yeah, they can't get close to them even if they're not happy with just the quick passing from Bolton so far. Really frustrating Preston. They've got a little bit of work to do here though, Bolton, as Preston are now beginning to get out of their area, and there's a sloppy back pass to Jack Bonham. So they have avoided any danger of conceding a third there, but they just could not get touch tight to Bolton.
Yeah, Conway looking to go long to Dolby. Well defended by the number 14 Story, I must say, who has had a somewhat decent game at centre-back despite conceding 2. It's going to be with the number 24 that reasonably recently introduced a fire, and it will go out. It will be a throw-in for Bolton. Small having just come on, having some words with the linesman. Not that he will care. It will be a throw-in now for Conway. Deep into the Bolton half, and 10 minutes left to go. Hard to see Preston coming back into it, and truthfully we haven't seen them looking to get back into it the whole game. Long ball there, potentially looking for the run of Osmajic, who squandered a huge chance earlier. Must say, well done by Bonham to get to it, and Bonham will look to go long now, seeing if he can find the run of one of his players or one of the newly introduced attacking players. It will be a foul now, I believe, or actually potential offside. Not too sure what's happened there. Will be a change now with Conway coming off, who has had a great game actually. Conway really impressed me, some great runs and good defending as well when he needed to get back. It will be told to come on the number 18, who will take the captain's armband. Yeah, he is the club captain, the Northern Irishman, Owen Toyle. He signed from Derry City in 2022. This is 120th league appearance for Bolton. Been a bit of a stalwart at the club, the 27-year-old, but he is back onto the field, and that experience will do them the world of good as they try and see out this victory. Yeah, absolutely. Get 10 minutes into the legs early in the season, you know, against a championship side who, of course, fairly likely they are about to defeat in the next 10 minutes, unless Preston come back miraculously, of course. And a little bit of experience to get yourself back into the football at the start of the season will certainly do him some good. And very brave there, I must say, by Bonham, just coming out when he needed to, just to kick the ball away. And I think it was probably the right decision. It does look like Story has brought down Dolby. There's been a few battles between them two today. And yeah, just a case a little bit like we saw earlier. Dolby had his back to Story jumping on him and just drawing the foul. It's going to be a free kick for Bolton, taken by Sheehan now to the number 14, Famewo. Famewo looking back to Farino for the pass, and Bolton looking calm, composed and under control, certainly not giving much away, although as I say that, it was a poor long ball looking on the wing. It will be a throw-in now for Preston. Yeah, and they're running out of time to get back into this game are the Lily Whites. They haven't really created anything meaningful since that sloppy chance from Osmajic when he really should have gone for goal instead of trying to square it to his teammate. I think that might have taken the wind out of their sails, the fact they missed that golden opportunity to half the deficit. They are trying to come forward though on this left-hand side. It's a really overhit pass though by Vukovic, and it will go straight out for a goal kick for Bolton Wanderers. There is another goal to tell you about in the early kickoffs. Oldham Athletic doubling their advantage at home against Port Vale. Callum Kavanagh getting his second. And we will have a goal kick now to be taken by Bonham, the Bolton goalkeeper, with only 6 minutes to go of regular time, I should say. And Bonham will probably look to go long, looking at where his players are positioned, and he does indeed. And who will bring it down? Dolby seemed to be the target. It will be won back by Preston, looking to go back to Iverson. Iverson kicking it long, and not the most convincing ball. Could potentially be won back by Bolton, and it is indeed. It will be Gale. Gale and the Fire having a little battle there, and actually I believe it wasn't Gale. My apologies. It was the number 14. The Fire just getting the better of him on that occasion. For Maywo, of course. We're going to have two more changes now for Bolton, with the number 7 and 5 coming on. Yeah, it looks like Kilian Dong is the first man entering the field of play. Looks like Stevenson has now finally
run his race, but he is going to be replaced by their new signing, Lewis Brunt. He is coming on in defence. And we're also seeing the end of the race run from Thierry Gale. What a performance from the Barbadian. He's been slightly less at it in the second half, but his first half performance was brilliant.
Yeah, certainly. His first half performance was very commendable, something that we'd essentially have probably given him man of the match for, may still well do. He was fantastic, really driving at Preston, made so many chances for himself, and he probably could have had 2 goals today on a different day. Really driving out of the lengths in really often in the first half, forcing the foul, and fantastic performance by Gale today, and a huge chance potentially for Preston to get themselves back into it. And what a goal! We're going to have the goal by the newly introduced striker Arabi, I believe, who will be scoring, I believe, his first goal for the club, which will give him huge confidence, and he looks to even shush the Bolton fans, of course, being that he's playing away. And a great goal, I have to say. Not much, to be honest, for Bonham to do. He gets it right under the crossbar, and a fantastic header from the striker. Yeah,
brilliant header by Arabi. He was being challenged for it by his own man in Thierry Small, but did so well to get power behind it, kissing the underside of the bar as it makes its way over the line into the back of the net. And there will be a nervy end to this game for the host. Brilliant header by Youssef Arabi, the man signed on loan from Genk, his first appearance, and he gets his first goal for his new club.
Fantastic. It will be a huge lift for him of confidence, and in terms of Preston now as well, might have a little bit of a mental shift. I think for the majority of the game, Bolton have been winning the game in the mind and on the pitch, and that might just give them the lift they need to maybe get themselves a draw here. I certainly don't see them getting the win the way Bolton have been playing, but fantastic bit of play by Preston, and it will be just a foul called there on 39 Hardy for Bolton. It will be a free kick for Preston now, and looking for potential chance for them to get up the field. 3 minutes to go of regular time now, and they will potentially believe in themselves to go for the draw at least, with a few attacking changes. Small looking for the overlap and finding it too, and that is not a great challenge. I think he completely missed the ball and unfortunately followed through on the man, and it will be a yellow card for Farina. I knew straight away the referee was going to give that one.
Yeah, he's come flying in for the sliding tackle to try and stop the run of fire on that right hand side. Misses the ball, clearly catches the man. Stonewall free kick, and with the way that Adam Hochstek has refereed this game so far, it was also always going to be a yellow card. Just before the free kick is taken, though, another goal to tell you about. Notts County equalising at home against Leicester City. Connor Grant getting the goal there for the hosts.
And a huge chance for Preston to fully get themselves back into it and potentially earning a point from defeat. It will be Devine likely to take it. He has been quite impressive at times in the second half, of course, creating that chance for Osmatic, and it will be taken by Devine. Devine looking for his players in the box here, and cleared but not very well by Bolton. Can Preston get themselves another chance here? It will be the number 3 looking for his man. It will actually not be delivered into the box as I'd initially thought. Preston now delivering it into the box and potentially right at the right time, but not quite getting the flick on. I do think he was trying to go for goal there, the number 6, Lindsay. But I think if he just flicked it back, he would have had Story completely alone right in the middle of the box.
Yeah, that probably would have been the better idea. It would have been difficult to execute, but it was a wicked delivery in by Leo Leroy. He just couldn't quite flick it to a teammate, Lindsay. But that is dangerous times now for Bolton. They've been so comfortable for the vast majority of this game, but that one goal for Preston has completely changed the tide momentum. I can only imagine the emotions inside the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. There's a lot of nervous bums on seats.
Yeah, certainly quite a bit of nail biting for the fans today at Bolton, who, like you say, have been so controlling for the majority of the game. But there must be a bit of a mental shift going on, because Preston are really going at them, and Bolton really needs to be careful here. They've worked so well for 85 minutes of the game. They must not let it slip. It's a newly promoted side, of course. You want all the points possible as you go into your new season. And now cleared away by Iverson. It will be a throw-in, I believe, or for rather, Bolton. It will be taken by Farino, who just earned himself a yellow card. Rolling it away, and there will be one more change now. And rather not the board up for a change, but just to announce the added minutes. It'll be 4 added minutes of this game, and 4 minutes, not a short amount of time. We've certainly seen more happened with less. If I were the Bolton players, I'd certainly look to shore it up at the back and be a little bit more careful now.
Yeah, the 4 minutes will probably mean that Preston will be throwing the kitchen sink at Bolton for the next 3.5 minutes now to look for this elusive equaliser as Bolton try and hold on for their first victory over Preston since 2001.
My God, that's the year I was born, so quite some time since their last win. And yeah, it certainly will be a case of Bolton really needing to hold it down here. There's been a complete shift in terms of who is taking the game by the scruff of the neck, and certainly at the moment that is Preston. Every bit of possession they're getting, they're using to attack. Bolton now looking to also go up the pitch and looking to draw fouls as well from the Preston defenders, as they should. Potentially a strategy to kill time. Dolby has been really good in that respect today. So many times we've seen him actually put his back, of course, to those defenders and trying to draw that foul of them dragging him back, and something he can potentially use to kill a bit of time now.
Yeah, it's all about game management now. If you're Bolton, try and use a bit of the dark arts, kill as many minutes and seconds as you possibly can, and frustrate Preston. And if you're the visitors, you can't afford any errors. You get the ball, you try and get that forward as quick as possible, because time is not on your side.
Certainly not, and there was almost a chance there for Samuel Ling Jr., just not quite getting it right in terms of the touch. Sheehan will look to win it back, and certainly a bit of pinball, and Preston sending quite a lot of players forwards, and as they might, to be honest. I understand why. They're definitely looking to get that last goal, and I can even see some of the players gesturing for them to go, as it were. It will be the goalkeeper Iverson looking to go long. Only 2 minutes left in the fixture. Do you think they can potentially threaten?
I think there's definitely another chance in it for Preston. It's just whether or not they've got that clinicality to take that opportunity. But it's got to be a good delivery here from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, certainly so. And he looks to deliver into the box now, and a delivery with some potential. It will be cleared well by Bolton and their back line. Can Preston get themselves one more chance before the end of the game? We will see. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play. Iverson will go long once more, and certainly something he will need to be doing if his side are going to get back into it. I believe that will be coming off a Bolton player. It will be a throw-in now once more for Preston North, then throwing it straight to the goalkeeper. I believe they will possibly look to go for that long channel again, and they very much do so. I'm not convinced by that pass overall. Well defended, I must say, by the Bolton player. Sheehan looking to kick it out. Not sure why he's not looked for one of his own players. Might be made as a decision because of something the ref called. And one more chance potentially now. Small looking to drive his winger, and he absolutely does. The fullback there flicked on, and a huge chance for Preston, and that was it. That was the chance for Preston, and head in his hands. We can even see Bonham almost, I suppose, patting him on the back, because he knows that was his chance to take the win. And actually, I'm sorry to say, I think he had to get that on target.
He's got to get on target. He's got to score that. Unbelievable end to this game. Cross into the box, perfectly flicked on by Story, and it falls to his centre-back partner in Lindsay, unmarked at the far post. All he has to do is get it on target, but he tries to loop it over Bonham. It goes over the goal, and somehow he has missed the chance.
And that will be that today. The game will be called. The Bolton fans celebrating as their manager does as well, and that will be 2 Bolton, 1 Preston.
Bien, Mike, bien, bien. Bien encore, encore. Quelqu'un.
Full time, and Bolton have held on to win 2-1 against Preston North End in their first game back in the Championship. Goals in the first half from Sam Dolby and from Thierry Gale, giving the hosts all 3 points. Preston did half the deficit in the second half with a header from Arabi from 10 yards. They had their chances to equalise as well, none more so than Lindsay with the final touch of the game, a header over the bar from 6 yards, but they were unable to take their opportunities, and it is the hosts that hold on for the 3 points. Full time at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. It has finished Bolton 2, Preston North End 1. You'd probably say over the balance of play, Bolton just about deserved the victory, with the vast majority of that being to their utter dominance in the first half, where they got both of their goals. The first coming from a audacious half volley from John McAtee from about 30 yards that caught Everson, the Preston goalkeeper, off guard. He got down low to make the save, but he inexplicably palmed the effort back out into a dangerous area, and Sam Dolby was there to slot home the rebound from the edge of the penalty box. It was 2-0 10 minutes later. McAtee again involved. He laid it off to Thierry Gale on the counter-attack, who managed to get away from Paul Valentin, who he caused no end of issues throughout, and curled a beauty into the bottom left-hand corner to make it 2-0. They did have a third ruled out for offside, which is debatable given the replays that we have been shown. Sam Dolby, almost getting his second of the game. In the second half, Preston improved in quite some way. They only really had one effort in the first half, but they peppered the Bolton goal in the second, and they had their opportunities to half the deficit early on, the likes of Alfie Devine volleying wide, and Lang having a header that was comfortably saved. Their best opportunity, though, came in the 77th minute, where Milutin Osmajic broke forward for a one-on-one opportunity. All he had to do was slot it underneath or past the goalkeeper in Jack Bonham, but he tried to lay it on a plate to his substitute partner of Arabi, but it was overhit. Arabi couldn't get on the end of it, and the attack broke down. Arabi did eventually get on the score sheet to half the deficit with 2 minutes of normal time to go. Cross into the box from Leo Leroy, finding the head of the Genkaloni, and he managed to plant his header off the underside of the crossbar and into the back of the net. Preston pressed for that elusive equaliser. They had the opportunity with the last kick of the game. Cross into the box, flicked on by Jordan Story, falling to Liam Lindsay at the far post unmarked, but his header went over the bar from 6 yards out. In the end, it was Adam Herzeg, the referee, that blew the full-time whistle on this entertaining fixture. The full-time score, Bolton 2, Preston 1, and as it stands, Bolton go top of the Championship table.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct